Welcome back to Ruddomotive, and for a change, an episode that's not welding, for now. Actually, it's kind of just organizing shit, and, well, we're going to throw the wheels back on this so I can move it. I'm going to move this because I've got an engine for it. And yeah, we're gonna switch and start working on this. Now, I'm going to work on the Chevelle still as well, right? I've still got to tub it and do the floor pans before I'm in a decent spot sheet metal wise. But been doing a lot of thinking on this, and you know, the goal with the Chevelle was to get it on the road, of course, so I had something to enjoy. But I'm throwing a lot of money at the Chevelle the way I kind of want to do it, right? So even stage one's a lot of money, and I'm kind of torn on what that even looks like, right? Because I'll go through, I'll do all the sheet metal, which of course I've already got that cost in, you know, and then it's labor. But then I also want to properly dynamat it. I also want to properly do an AC and heating system. You know, there's a lot of things that I want to go through and do now that I don't want to redo later. You know, the wire harness, the specific one it's expensive. The 6.2 6L80 I want, even though I'm not touching it at first, it's still expensive, right? So there's a lot of cost to getting the Chevelle on the road, which I could, you know, dedicate everything to it and live off top ramen. You know, it's an option. It's a thing I could do, but it's not a thing I want to do right now, right? And then looking at it, I'm like, well, you know, my original plan for the 39 was to go a little wild, so that's why it sat. I wanted to do something like a mixture of the Huna truck and Stanceworks Model A truck, right? Like that's what I envisioned for the 39. And then, you know, got to thinking and self-reflecting, and I was like, that means I would throw away a ton of shit my dad did. A ton. And, you know, maybe that's cool for the 39, right? It'd be a cool project, but I know one day I'd look back on it and I'm like, why the hell did I get rid of all that? You know, I don't think it'd sit well. So I'm still going to modify it and make changes and make it some of my own and some of my dad's, right? So I want to do a lot of what his plans were, but I also want to mix some of what I want in there. Now, with that being said, to get it on the road is actually cheaper, right? I've got my 350 turbo I can use for the transmission. I spent $800 on a 5.3 in the back of the Colorado, which is why I'm moving all this crap around. And then, you know, the heating, cooling system's going to be a lot cheaper. Yes, I need an AC. It gets like 110 in the damn summer and I can't drive anything around. Especially because, you know, this thing's black, my Audi's black, my Colorado's black. I kind of just get black on black everything that has four wheels. 39 might change. I've been tossing around. I do really like the red rims. Now, these are not staying on here. For one, these tires are rotted. I cannot use them. So I don't want to take them off the rim because I don't want to throw them away. I think, you know, I'll probably throw, if I can, the beauty rings on it and the Ford caps on it and hang them up somewhere. I think it'll be a cool decoration. But, you know, I'm thinking maybe red wouldn't look terrible when I replace it. But a part of me is still like, man, I could go black on black as well, but maybe I need to break that habit. So, get to what we're doing on this video. Now I'm gonna put the rims and tires on here. Oh yeah, haven't showed you guys that either. I bought some new tires. The other ones wore toast, like completely toast. So spent more than I wanted to on tires. The front and back do not match, but they're also wonky sizes, right? Like these sizes were cool 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. Now they're just not that common, right? I think these backs are what, 295 50 15s, and then the front is a freaking 195 60 14, right? It's a little baby tire and pretty thick business on the back. Now, I'm a little interested to see if this back fits, since I have not rolled the quarters. I previously had to roll them when it was my daily driver, so these damn things didn't rub. We'll see if that's the case today. Hoping not, but who knows? Who knows? Front, all the room in the world, so that's not a concern. And yeah, we're gonna swap places and maybe organize some things, and then we'll pull the 5.3 in here. Now, one thing as well is I don't have the parts currently to mate the transmission to the LS, because it's, the LS is made for the 4L60. Turbo 350s don't just, they bolt up, but they don't match up, if that makes sense. If you know, you know. If you don't, look it up. I wanted to go 4L60 or 4L80, but the Pacific Northwest does not like two-wheel drive transmissions. Everything around here is four-wheel drive, because most of the areas in the winter, you're going to want a four-wheel drive. Not to mention, the hobby of off-roading and mudding and that kind of shit's pretty common around here as well. So two-wheel drive transmission was kind of out of the picture, sadly. But the 350 turbo should work just fine. I got a brand new torque converter in there somewhere. Yeah, it looks like crap. You'll see in a minute the 5.3 looks like crap as well. Now, I don't know what actually, another thing I want to do by the end of this video, because I haven't touched bases on it, is I want to get this sitting to where I actually want it height-wise. So right now, it's probably a little hard to tell, but from here to the ground, you've got 11 inches, right? I want 4 inches, maybe 5 inches max, but probably shooting more towards 4. So what I want to do after I get this where I want it, and I have the damn tires off, is I also want to get it down to where I want, so that I can figure out what I need to do to modify the front and back. So the new tires are gonna be 3 inches taller than these. Well, the front's 3 inches. I think the back might be 4 inches. About 4 inches. So what that means is going from 11, you're also gonna add 1.5 to the front. So the front would be at 12.5, and I need to drop that down to 4. It's a lot to drop. The back will be at 13, and I need to drop that to 4. It adds up. So I want to figure that out. Originally, I wasn't going to. I was just going to throw them on there, ride it high. When winter comes, cut into her and do it then. But why not just do it now, right? I already know I want to do it. The one thing, when I buy rims and tires, I'm buying the final rims and tires. It costs a lot of money. I'm buying them once. So the ones I buy this time are what I'm sticking with. So why not get the ride height right? I don't think I'm ever going to switch this over to an A-arm control arm front, and I won't go IFS in the back, right? It's got a Camaro rear end. It's perfectly fine. It's got one of the street rod front ends. Like, this is the look my dad wanted. So I want to take that look and throw in a couple, modern rat rod. Yeah. Probably done rambling. Sorry, that was a long one. This is probably going to be a long video. So sit back and enjoy me struggle bussing, moving all this shit around by myself. I didn't get as far as I wanted to, but I got the engine out of the damn truck, which is a pain in the ass. It's toasty out. If you couldn't tell, I'm super swampy. It's one of those days. Got the truck kind of where I want it. The only thing I really didn't complete is I wanted the Chevelle back on jack stands, and I wanted this down on 2x4s to simulate the height. So those two things didn't get done, but I'll get to that in the next video. I'm going to be ordering the motor mount adapters and the transmission adapter thing, the little thing that goes on the shafter with a thicker flex plate to fix all the depth issues of the transmission. I'm tired. I'm beat. It was a hot day, but it's looking good. Shop's a little different, and it's weird how much more room I have now. With the Chevelle being over there, I can actually walk along that wall. That's kind of nice. Over here is a little crampy, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Most of my work is going to be, kind of centered anyways. Gotta get, like I said, gotta figure out the ride height, and then I can drop the motor in and figure out what I need to cut on the firewall. There's no floor, really, so that won't be too much of a problem. There's already a transmission mount in there that is made for the 350 turbo. However, it was made with the assumption that there'd be a small block 400 in here. So that's kind of an issue, but we'll figure that out as it goes. Back here will probably be the easiest to drop height-wise, but I don't know. I have a feeling that I'll be cutting these and changing that angle so this will sit higher. But I could be wrong. I'm really hoping not in the back, because then I'm going to have like zero bed, which I don't plan on having a lot of bed, but enough that I can put hooks and do luggage in that, so I can take this thing for a decent drive, a long drive. Going forward with this project, I do plan on talking through budget and stuff like that. Currently, I've got $4,500 buying the truck for my stepmom, and then $800 into the 5.3. Transmission came out of the 72, plus that was free back when I got it anyway. So, I'm only in $5,300 so far, which seems like a lot for what I have, but I haven't really dug out all the new parts in that either. So, I've already got the radiator for it, I've got the grill for it, the bed, a ton of new parts in there. So it's really not in too bad a shape. I feel like I rambled on long enough on the start of this video, so, comment down below what you think. Let me know what you like about rat rods, how you would do the rat rod. Feel free to talk shit about the Chevelle. She's there. Still going to be working on it, don't worry. It's just a very long project, and I want to take my time. I was rushing through it, and that's not a good way to do it. With that, see you in the next one.